I can't believe I've been working on this project for 3 years. When I started in 2023, I thought I would launch by February 2026. We are now in June, so what happened? Hi, I'm Moss, the developer behind Duck Norris Tales, a game where you play as a duck saving the world from an alien invasion, and also the founder behind Ungenerated.io, an art platform with zero tolerance for Gen AI. I have covered year 1 and year 2 of the development in the previous devlogs. Year 3 was the most important one for the game, because it was the year of launching the demo on Steam. Not only that, we participated in Steam Next Fest, and it was the most nerve-wracking thing I have done in a long time. It honestly felt like I was taking a journey into an unknown territory, because during the Next Fest, I have one shot to make an impression, and have to be ready to fix anything that comes up on the spot, because time is ticking and anything game breaking has to be hot fixed right away. So I spent most of this year preparing for it and had two approaches: send out an early demo build and get feedback online, or second, do things in person, create gameplay sessions in my community, go to local gaming events and get a bunch of people to try the game, which turned out to be the best decision I have ever made. The first option is the easiest. Just 2 clicks away and a short message. Mission complete. You send it to everybody on your Discord and you're done. And if they're already on your Discord, they tend to be more easygoing with their feedback. If they fail in one section, they will try again and try and figure it out on their own, and then give you a summarized feedback. But here's the thing, reading a feedback and seeing the feedback are two completely different things. In-person event is something else, man. Like, be ready to get wrecked. I got to see people fail the tutorial section in real time, and someone looked at me and said that he felt the game was so frustrating. A part of me died that day. In-person testing shows you real emotions in real time. If they fail a section, you can see it right as it happens. I wish I could tell you it only happened once, but on that day, I had 20 people tested, and only 2 passed the tutorial without my intervention. That's 90% failure rate. And I covered that whole experience in another video. And I took all of that feedback, gutted the demo, and started over. Decided to take a break and play other games. Just focus on the first 30 minutes. Black Miss Wukong, for example, gave you an awesome first impression where you're clearly overpowered, and it gives you a taste of what to come. So that was my focus for a couple of months, making sure I can improve the first initial impression. And while working on that, it highlighted other issues. I needed to make a decision on how to navigate the game map. Initially, I wanted it to work similar to Cuphead and Commander Kin, where you have a map and move from one room to another. However, I didn't want to break the immersion, so I decided to make the game hub interconnected, where you can get rewarded for exploring and interacting with the world. This also brought another question that I missed. How do you communicate with Duck Norris? How does the NPCs communicate with them? How to deal with localization? And I had to sit down and face reality and make a commitment. So I made a decision to make the game textless, except for the tutorial level, with every interaction served as an interactive mini-comic, inspired by children's books and other games in the genre like Hyper Light Drifter. I wanted to let your imagination take over, if that makes sense. And this approach opens up a potential for game theories and interpretations. Every player would experience something slightly different than another. Instead of dictating what happens and why, you get to piece it all together by yourself. And in this age of AI where everything is getting spoon-fed, we're slowly being conditioned to lose that part where we let our brain fill in the blanks, make connections, and interpret meanings. So even though drawing every interaction is going to be difficult, I'm going to power through it and give it all I got. This also led to creating mini cutscenes which help tie everything together, and I'm planning to make a lot more with the final release. Part of it is to get better with animations, and another is to elevate the production value of the game. With all that in mind, I realized that players need to have some sort of feedback loop. In the old system, when you defeat a boss, you are teleported back to the hub. There was no other way to know if you beat the boss or not, other than pressing the tab button and seeing your score. This works as a prototype, but it doesn't make sense for a final product. So I created these portraits next to every boss entrance. When you defeat a boss, you get to see which difficulty you beat them on. Also, this gives me an opportunity to fine-tune the original quest system to make it robust. Now, the quest system can trigger different world events, like unblocking certain paths or triggering cutscenes by defeating certain bosses. These were the happiest moments while making Duck Norris because I realized that I have completed 90% of the systems needed to finish the game. All I need moving forward was to make more bosses, create more hubs, and cutscenes. And I have to do a little bit of coding, but for the most part, knock on wood, I don't have to make any more systems. Now that I have all of that done, time to bring in the boss fights. All I had to do was plug and play since I spent the past 2 years working on the boss factory, where I can drag and drop the bosses down in the map. And it only took minutes, so I decided to include 4 bosses in the demo, 5 if you count the tutorial. I think it's a little bit much, but since I'm planning to have like 25 bosses, I thought this could be a good sample size of what the game has to offer. And I released the demo prior to Steam Next Fest, because navigating Steam was a little bit too much to take in. I needed to make sure that the page and everything else good to go in case I need some time to fix it. I didn't want to have any last minute surprises. And tell you what, launch week was awesome. I had a few issues but nothing game breaking. My aim from the fest was to get a sizable chunk of feedback before committing another year or two into the project. I needed an insight on what to focus on and what worked and what didn't, instead of just living in my head assuming everything is going great. The feedback showed me that the final game has to have more passive progression. I need to add more rewards and secrets to unlock new weapons and cosmetics in the world. I had one secret item in the demo, and what I found was the people who found the item ended up playing the game 4 times longer than the people who didn't. The item required you to solve a simple puzzle. In return, you unlocked a really powerful kraken that slapped the bosses around. And I'm making this game for you, the ones that want to explore and enjoy every inch of this handcrafted world. Imagine having a side story quest where you can unlock this weapon or this look. It just makes the game more enjoyable, knowing your risk and time spent is being rewarded, rather than just unlocking a new path. With Steam Fest over, I moved on to design more bosses before ending the year, without spoiling too much. These bosses have completely different movesets and mechanics that make them stand out. My personal favorite and the hardest one to beat is Drothar. This boss is way worse than Pangolin, and it just gives me a run for my money. This one is on another level. And my second favorite was this boss. It was inspired by Metal Slug X. I give it a twist to make it stand out, but definitely one of the more memorable bosses that I created that year. And this is what I learned so far. The first 10 minutes of gameplay dictates if you will enjoy the game or not. And also that I need to have a clear path of progression in the game. Having a demo is one of the most important feedback systems you can have for your development. Even though my main focus was to test the boss gameplay and get a general feedback, that demo gave me way more than I expected. And for that, I'm very grateful. And I think the game will play so much better for it. And if you haven't already, check out the demo on Steam. Let me know in the comments what did you think of the visual storytelling. Make sure you wishlist Duck Norris Tales and give the demo a shot. Before we end, I wanted to give a special thanks to all the residents on ungenerated.io for keeping the lights on and helping us improve the platform. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video so far, please leave it a like and a comment. It'll really help me with the algorithm and help the channel grow. If you enjoyed this video, you'll enjoy this video as well. Thank you so much, and just remember, take it one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.